Formula One is not just auto racing. It is the most prestigious and spectacular championship in the world of motorsport. The Las Vegas Grand Prix, which was meant to become a world-class, grandiose event, brought the city not only glamour and excitement, but also a number of problems that left many locals and tourists feeling frustrated. What was intended to be a celebration of speed and luxury turned daily life for residents into a series of challenges that affected nearly everyone who lives or works near the famous Las Vegas Strip. Long before the race even began, the city's central streets looked like an enormous construction zone. To prepare the circuit, sections of roads had to be closed, fences and grandstands installed, along with temporary bridges and technical areas. Daily commutes to work or errands became a real ordeal. What previously took 20 minutes sometimes stretched to an hour because of street closures and traffic jams. Casino workers and strip employees often couldn't get to work or return home on time. For business owners who depend on pedestrian traffic, it was a disaster. Customers simply couldn't reach their stores and restaurants. People living near the circuit complained about noise, dust, blocked entrances to residential complexes, and the feeling that their city temporarily stopped belonging to them. In addition, the construction of grandstands and barriers literally changed the appearance of the streets. Some tourists and passers-by complained that views of popular landmarks, such as the fountains in front of the Bellagio, were blocked. Since grandstand construction begins as early as October, if you're not a Formula One fan, it's better to plan your trip for another time. October and November are not for you. Noise was another major issue. Construction work, heavy equipment, and later the roar of race cars created severe noise pollution that irritated local residents. On top of that, many people felt that organizers did not fully inform them about the scale of the disruptions. Communication was weak, and road closures and access restrictions were not always announced in advance. Prices also skyrocketed along with the traffic problems. Hotels on the Strip raised room rates several times over. The average nightly price rose to several $100s, and some luxury resorts were charging more than $2,000 per night. Restaurants and bars introduced minimum spending requirements, even those without direct views of the track. Local businesses suffered as well. Some shops and establishments reported that their foot traffic dropped because people simply couldn't get there due to blocked streets or found it too inconvenient. There were also complaints that city officials and organizers didn't provide enough compensation or support to small businesses, while the city's budget was being poured into big gaming enthusiasm and trackside advertising. For ordinary residents, these prices were absurd, and many simply avoided the central part of the city during the race weekend. Locals were also upset that most of the benefits from hosting Formula One went to big corporations and hotel chains. Small businesses, on the other hand, suffered losses because of restricted access, road closures, and declining customer traffic. Many felt their voices didn't matter. Decisions were made without considering the community's needs. Even those who love motorsport admitted that the price of the spectacle was far too high. The combination of all these problems, traffic, noise, access restrictions, tree removal, and soaring prices, left many residents feeling that Formula One was imposed on the city rather than organized with consideration for those who live there. Even sports superstars like Lewis Hamilton emphasized that local residents deserve respect because their patience is not unlimited. Tourists also had their complaints. Some visitors said that because of the competition for tickets, parking issues, and the chaos of moving around the city, the event fell short of the glamorous experience they expected, and instead of being something truly unique, it turned into a logistical mess for ordinary guests. Eventually, after all the criticism, Formula One and Liberty Media issued apologies to the city for the inconvenience caused. The paradox is that Formula One did bring enormous revenue to Las Vegas, filling hotels, restaurants, and casinos while attracting worldwide media attention. But for the residents, the event became a symbol of inequality and disregard for those living outside the luxurious grandstands. That is why many Las Vegas residents today view Formula One without much enthusiasm. For them, it is not just a sporting event, it is a reminder of how easily a megashow can turn their hometown into a backdrop for someone else's entertainment, leaving locals with nothing more than the role of spectators behind the fences. Thanks for watching, leave your comment and subscribe, see you next time.